Up, this is Cam Jennings, aka Zero Fats, coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com and the Insiders Club. Guys, what is up? We are going to be getting started momentarily. I will be right back. I need to go check something. Just give me a few minutes, guys. I will be right back, and we will get started. I do have a little... I'm here, guys. Your camera's not broken. I'm here. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. I gotta go take care of something. Just give me a couple minutes, and we'll get started. You're listening to the Gladiator soundtrack, by the way. I'll be back in just a couple minutes, and we'll get started with our coaching call.
The boulevard's not the same since they stopped the parades, and it's over 100 in the shade. No breeze from the Gulf blows in.
All right, let's go ahead and all right, let's get rid of that. All right, very, very cool. What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing amazing out there on this fine Saturday. We're gonna go ahead and get started here. So the first thing I want to say, guys, first of all, let me be honest with you guys. I'm in kind of a bad mood this morning. I'm not going to lie to you. And here's the thing, man. With internet marketing, it's like the cult of success. You know what I mean? I mean, in this space, you kind of, it's like you got to be good, like in a good mood all the time or something. You have to always be positive and you always have to be uplifting and inspirational and motivational and stuff like that. And that's great, man. But, humans aren't like that. We run the gambit of emotions. We're not always in a good mood. We're not always positive. We're not always upbeat about everything. We don't always see the glass as half full. I mean, we try to, right? But we don't always see it that way. That's part of being human, right? That would be really weird if we were just always happy. I mean, just one emotion. There's a reason why we have a spectrum of emotions. We'd be like robots or something if that was how we were. So I'll talk. I will talk to you guys a little bit about why I'm kind of in a bad mood, because it does kind of fit into our coaching thing here, and it does kind of it's going to give you something, right? I don't want to talk about things on these coaching calls that won't give you something, right? And there is a takeaway for you guys. So I will tell the story of that. But not yet. We'll get into that in a second. What I will say is don't feel bad, about not always being on all the time. I will say that, good idea to stay off of social media and start posting a bunch of stuff when you're not on, when you're not feeling that great, when you are feeling kind of in a negative mood. It's probably not a good idea to post on social media because, in my experience, the more negative you are, the less people you attract. The less people want to be around you. So, even though it's not realistic for us to be on all the time, sometimes it's better when you're in kind of a negative mood. It's better just to stay away from social and, just come back to it when you are in a better mood or in a more positive place. That's what I'd say about that. That being said, whether you're in a positive place, whether you're in a negative place, whether you're feeling kind of mad about something, whatever, I mean, the show must go on, right? The show must go on. And when you're an entrepreneur, like, it kind of feels like every day is the Super Bowl. So the show must go on, right? You got to push through. You got to have a short memory. You can't stay mad. You just got to push through and keep on working to try to accomplish your goals, right? And those are kind of like rules that I live by. So anyways, let's get on with this. First off, we've had several new people join the Insiders Club this month. I did a product launch towards the beginning of this month called Mystic Mailer Pro. It did okay. It did pretty good. We'll talk about that in a minute, but we have had some new people join the Insiders Club. And so I just want to kind of like, before I get into this, I just want to say like what these group coaching calls are, right? I don't want people to think every single month they're going to get on here and I'm going to have a webinar presentation and teach you guys a bunch of stuff. That's not what really these group coaching calls are about. What these group coaching calls are about is you guys being able to pick my brain. I wish I had dual brains. I don't. Pick my brain and just ask me questions, right? To move your businesses forward. So if you're out there right now, if you're a part of the Insiders Club, that means you're probably not where you want to be as far as like your business goes. And you're trying to learn from my courses, from my content, and from these group coaching calls. You're trying to learn ways that you can better your business. And I totally respect that. And this group coaching call every month is all about you getting to ask me your questions and getting my advice on how you should move forward. That's what these calls are about. Okay. They're not about me getting on here and just shoving a bunch of new information down your throat. That's not what this is about. This is about answering your specific questions to help you move forward in your business, and also allowing other people that are in this club to maybe, get some knowledge from that and kind of glean something from that might help them as well. That's what this is about. So yeah. All right, cool. That's enough of that. So final words on Mystic Mailer Pro. You got to do one-on-one outreach if you want to run affiliate traffic on product launches. That's the bottom line. When I did Sleeper Money a couple months back, I didn't really do any one-on-one outreach, and it was great. It was fine. It worked out good. It worked out good for me. Then I came back around on my next one. I did Mystic Mailer Pro, and I didn't do any outreach on that one as well. And when I say outreach, I mean reaching out to people one-on-one, right? Reaching out to individual JVs. I'm talking about targeting like 300 to 500 affiliates who are known to make sales and who have popped up on lots of leaderboards in your space. And I'm talking about reaching out to them individually and asking them if they're interested in promoting your thing. And that's a pain in the butt. It really is. Reaching out to all those people individually 300 to 500 times is annoying, because that's 300 to 500 different personalities that you got to deal with. Some of them are going to feel like they don't want to deal with you because you only reach out to them when you have something you want them to promote. Some of them are going to be mad at you because you didn't promote their last thing. Some of them aren't going to know you and they're going to be like, get away from me. Some of them are going to be nice, but it's just a whole lot of personalities, right? It's almost like, I don't want to say it's emotional or emotionally draining, but it's just kind of like unpleasant, right? To reach out to 300 to 500 people and ask them to promote your thing, right? In various ways, right? Usually I'll go through a process, right? Kind of breaking the ice, having a little back and forth, and then kind of going into it. And we can get into that more specifically if you want in a future call, or just ask and I can get into it now. But I'm not going to get into it unless someone asks. But the point is, it's annoying, right? So when I did Sleeper Money, I didn't want to do any outreach like that. I wanted to get them to come to me, right? And I thought I had a pretty good little system, and it worked good for Sleeper Money, but it didn't work for Mystic Mailer Pro. So, Mystic Mailer Pro, I think it sold a little over 100 units, so not that great. I mean, I know I said that before, and I think someone had said, man, I wish I could sell a little over 100 units. So, I mean, everybody's got, different places. Everyone's got different places they consider successful or whatever. We're all at different stages, so. Heck, I remember when I first got started, my first launch didn't sell anything. So yeah, I remember that point when my first launch didn't sell anything. I was like, damn, man, what the hell am I going to do? I got to figure this out, man. This is ridiculous. So when I launched my next one, I think it sold, I don't know how much it sold it, but I remember very clearly the launch that I did that actually pushed over 100 units, and I was stoked, man. I was like, yes. And that was a launch that Lee Murray, that was my first big affiliate to jump on a launch, was Lee Murray, and he jumped on my launch, and it was Easy YouTube Money Method 2. It was the launch that pushed over 100 units, and I was stoked, man. So yeah, I know how it goes, man. There's different levels or whatever, but once you get to where you've pushed over 1,000 units, then now it's like, okay, now you don't want to regress. You know what I'm saying? So when you push back like 100 units, you're like, wait, what? But the thing is, there's ups and downs to this game. You know what I mean? And like you learn things, you move forward, and sometimes you regress. Sometimes you regress because you forget things, or you stop doing things that were successful for you in the past. You get too experimental. You do too many different things. And I think that when it comes to the one-on-one outreach with affiliate partners, it's a part of what I do that I didn't like doing. So with Sleeper Money, I wanted to not do it, and I didn't do it. And I tried to devise a way to where I didn't have to do it, and it worked for Sleeper Money, but it did not work for Mystic Mailer Pro. So the takeaway for that is, if you want to launch products, you need to be ready to do some one-on-one affiliate outreach, and you got to be ready for rejection, and you got to be ready for snarky personalities, and you got to be ready for a bunch of crap that you probably don't want to deal with. But the fact of the matter is, your launch will be far more successful if you do one-on-one outreach with affiliates. And I'm not talking about reaching out to 10 people. I'm talking about putting a list together of hundreds of people, right? And reaching out to all of them individually. And we're talking about, several days of effort here. We're talking about several days of effort, but it pays off because it will make you a lot more money. All right. So that's the bottom line when it comes to that. And that's all I got to say about Mystic Mailer Pro. Mystic Mailer Pro is a great product, crazy over delivered for the price. And now it's sitting at $97, which makes more sense because of all that it has in it. But I moved on. I'm on to Email Secrets now. Email Secrets is the product I'm going to be launching in another week or so. I'll let you guys know the results of that. Before I leave today, I'll give you guys. I want to show you guys the sales page for Email Secrets, because I want to talk to you about something that has to do with that. So we'll get into that. Okay, now let me talk to you about what's got me mad. All right, because I am kind of angry today. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little upset. So around a year ago or so, I had a few ideas for software, right? And I wanted to try to get them developed into products. The problem was trying to find someone that I could trust, that I didn't think was going to rip me off. And I thought I'd found somebody like that. And what happened was we started working on this project. The project was called Memes to Go. It was called Memes to Go is the name of the project. And the idea was I wanted to create a meme generator, right? But this meme generator, basically what you would do is you just basically select whether you wanted like inspirational memes, motivational memes, or like humorous memes, right? Then you'd select how many memes you wanted, like 25, 50, 100 or whatever, and then you hit a button and boom, it would spit out like 100 memes that were humorous, or 100 memes that were inspirational or motivational, right? And that was the idea, right? That was the idea that I had, but I'm not a programmer and I didn't know how to program that. So I needed to find a programmer that could handle that for me. And I thought I found somebody. We started working on the project. I started getting all the quotes together that I wanted to be put into the software. I started getting all of the pictures together that I wanted put in the software. They were hand-picked pictures, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hand-picked pictures for motivational and for funny, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hand-picked quotes for motivation and for funny, well, thousands really of quotes. So it was a lot of work that went into it. And giving this information to my programmer. And what happened with that Memes to Go project was we couldn't make the humorous ones work. The humorous ones would not work. I mean, like, we could do the motivational ones and it was fine. We could randomly link up a quote with a motivational image and it was great. It looked beautiful. It was great. The problem was with the funny ones. It's really, really hard to fake funny. I mean, you can put a fake. You can put like a funny quote, but like trying to line that up with a random funny image, it just doesn't work half the time. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. So the funny memes were really, really hard to get to work. And I didn't want to go to market with just the motivational memes, because I had already talked to several people that had made products about memes, and they told me they've had the best results when it comes to memes and using memes to drive traffic. They've had the best results with the funny ones, right? Well, I didn't want to bring a product to market with just the inspirational, motivational quotes if I know that the funny ones are what's driving the traffic for people. I want the funny ones. We got to have the funny ones. So we kind of came to a standstill with the project, and we ended up scrapping the project, and it was left alone. Now, just yesterday, I don't know for sure, but the way I saw it, the way it looked, was that my programmer friend is trying to release that product, by himself now, and try to go to market with it, with just the inspirational memes. Just, forget about the funny ones, just the inspirational ones. So basically, from my standpoint, it looks like my idea has been stolen. That's kind of what it looks like. Now, what you have to remember is ideas are not copyrightable. You cannot copyright an idea, you guys. All right. So this is why when you have an idea for a piece of software or something like that, you have to be very, very careful. You have to be very careful. Your ideas can be ripped off. So that's kind of got me a little bit angry today. But it's not really the end of the world. It is what it is. And why am I telling you guys about this? Because software is really hot right now. And I know plenty of you guys watching this, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it on replay, I know that plenty probably plenty of you guys probably, sorry, I was looking at comment. So plenty of you guys probably want to release some software or have aspirations of releasing a piece of software to make money, but you don't know how to make software. So you're going to try to team up with a programmer or a developer or something. So you need to do a couple things to protect yourself. Okay. This is something I should have done, but I didn't do it. One thing you need to do is you need to have your programmer sign a non-disclosure agreement. All right. And what this is going to do, it's going to ensure that all the information that you share is confidential between you and your developer. And it essentially protects your ideas from being reused or shared by those involved with your project, right? Non-disclosure agreement. All right. So the second thing that you need to do is you need to have them sign a non-compete agreement. All right. And this is basically aimed at keeping people from sharing your trade secrets to another rival person or company, right? Essentially, it refrains the contracted developers and other professionals working on your project or working on any other app project that directly competes with yours. The best part is your developers will not be able to work on your rival. I'm reading this, guys. I was researching this today. The best part is your developers will not be able to work on your rival's project for a certain period of time, even after they're done working on yours. Now, this also means they will technically be out of work for quite some time or will be unable to work with clients of their choice on this type of project. So listen, guys, if you don't take anything else away from these coaching calls, please, if you're going to have a piece of software developed, make your programmer sign a non-disclosure agreement and make them sign a non-compete agreement. Because this little mistake here that I made, it's a $100,000 mistake. It's potentially a $100,000 mistake. So it's really annoying to me. It's not the end of the world, but it is quite annoying to me. So anyways, I'm not going to speak about it anymore because it's just making me angry. So, but yeah, get them to sign a non-disclosure agreement, get them to sign a non-compete agreement. And if they don't want to do it, don't work with them. Find another programmer. I don't care how good they are or how good they appear to be or how smart they are. That doesn't matter. Or how trustworthy they appear to be. Or who they are, how big of a name they have. None of that matters, dude. None of that matters. The fact is, your idea is what's important. Your idea is the heart of the project, and your idea is extremely vulnerable because it cannot be protected by copyright. So when all you have is an idea, right, to do something, and you have it all mapped out in your head, you have to be very careful with that idea and you have to protect it. All right. And that's the bottom line. Now, once you got it developed, you can trademark it. Once you got it developed, you can copyright it. But you can't do that when it's just an idea. All right. So when it's just an idea, anybody who you get on board to help you work with you on the idea, they need to sign an NDA and they need to sign a non-compete agreement. So just keep it in mind, guys. It's really important. Okay. Anyways. All right, let me move on. So talked to a guy who had been doing live streaming. Also, guys, here's another thing I want to talk about. So the last few coaching calls, I've been getting a lot more like direct with how I answer questions. Like I've actually been showing people's questions on the screen and just kind of like blocking out their names, but showing you guys the actual questions. That embarrassed a couple people. A couple people didn't like that. And, it wasn't my intention to embarrass anybody or make anybody feel stupid, but they didn't like that, guys. So I'm going to kind of like back off from doing that. I just want you guys to know that the stuff I'm talking about is either stuff that I'm dealing with in my business that I think you guys might be able to pull something out of for your businesses, or it's real questions people are asking me about to help them, right? But I'm kind of trying to protect them a little bit because when I was putting their actual questions up on the screen, I embarrassed a couple people. So it's not my goal to embarrass people. I don't want people to feel like they're being put on the spotlight and being made to feel dumb. So anyways, so I had a guy who had been live streaming for 206 days, live streaming on Facebook with no results. All right, so 206 days live streaming on Facebook, no results. Let me just check something real quick. Okay, so I had a guy who'd been live streaming on Facebook for 206 days. He's had no results. Wants to know what he can do. All right, so here's the thing. When I was looking at his live streams, what I noticed was like his messaging was not very good. And what I mean by that is I think he was doing a good job telling stories. He was doing a good job telling stories about, his life and getting personal. And that was good kind of for building rapport with the few people that were watching. But he had been doing like live streaming for 206 days. He only had 2 or 3 people watching his live stream, right? And he was getting more and more frustrated as the time went on. So the first thing I noticed with him was his messaging was off, right? If you're going to do live streaming, okay, and you've been doing it for 206 days with his goal was 365 days. He wanted to do it for a year. And in his mind, he was thinking after a year of live streaming, he's going to have this giant audience and everybody's going to care what he has to say and he's going to be able to sell stuff. But on day 206, he had like 2 or 3 people watching his live stream. He had seen little to no growth and he was frustrated. And then that was showing on his live streams. And he was like, I don't know if I'm going to keep on going, man. Something's got to happen, man. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, like, his messaging was off. The messaging, here's the thing about the messaging. Number one, when you're doing a live stream or when you're putting out any kind of content, here's the first thing, right? You have to have a focal point to the thing, right? There's got to be some kind of focal point to what you're doing. You can't just get on there and talk about your stuff. Because if you do that, then you're just a dude talking about your problems. And everyone's got their own problems. They don't got time to spend time wasting on your problems. They got their own problems to deal with, right? We're all like that. We got our own problems to deal with. So when it comes to your messaging, on your live streams, on your blog posts, on your Facebook posts, on your emails, the messaging has to be on point. Like you have to have a point to what you're saying. And that point has to circle back around to your people who are listening, who are watching, who are reading. It always has to come back to them. That's the magic of marketing. It's always about the people. It's always about the audience. It's never about you. Doesn't matter how much you talk about yourself. I mean, think about this problem I was having with this programmer and how I was telling you guys I was angry. I said I was angry. I told you the story, but then what did I do? I circled it back around to a takeaway for you guys. Make sure you get an NDA or a non-compete agreement. See what I'm saying? It always has to circle back around to the audience. Always. Every time you put out a piece of content, it needs to circle back around. That's messaging. So you need to think about your messaging when you're putting out content. And he wasn't doing that, right? So 206 days. How do you live stream on Facebook every single day and not get any results, right? How do you not grow your audience if you're there every day? You're always showing up. And the reason is because it takes more than just showing up. All right? That's a blue collar mentality. That mentality of I can just show up, put my head to the grindstone and just do it every day. I committed to it, so I'm not going to quit. So now I'm going to do it every day. I mean, he could have been live streaming for 4 years and not got any results because that put your nose to the grindstone and just work and just put your head down and go and do it. You'll get eaten alive online like that. This market, that's not how this market works. You have to be smart and work hard. You have to be clever, not just work hard. Okay, so his messaging was off. That was the one thing I told him. The second thing I told him was he wasn't pitching anything on his live streams. Every time he does a live stream, he needs to be pitching something. I mean, the ideal thing that he would be pitching is some kind of free thing that he's offering people, right? So they go on his email list. Now, this is very easy to do. Whatever you're talking about, you start talking about, hey guys, what's up? It'll go like this, right? Let me give you an example. Hey guys, what's up, man? Today I'm really angry, and I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm angry, and it's going to help you because I'm going to tie this back to something that can help you. But look, before I even get into that, I just want to say really quick, by the way, go over there and check out my free thing that I got. It's going to show you how to do this, this, and this. I'll put a link in the description. But enough about that. Now let me get back to this thing I'm mad about, right? This is a simple by the way. Like, hey guys, what's up? Today I want to talk to you about blah, 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 blah. Oh, by the way, if you get a chance, click the link in the description. Make sure you click on that. Get your free copy of this. All right. It's going to really help you. Okay. Now back to what I wanted to talk about, right? It's a simple, oh, by the way, you put it like towards the beginning of the thing, and then you put it like towards the end. Now I'm talking about video here, obviously. You know, you don't have to be like that when you're doing written, but if you're doing audio or you're doing video content, a simple, oh, by the way, you can pitch towards the beginning and you can pitch at the end. All right. And you got to be doing it. This dude's done 206 live streams, never pitched never pitched anything. Well, how can you get results? You're not working towards anything. It makes no sense. The third thing I told him was that he needed a system to pull people to him, right? It's not enough to get on Facebook and do a live stream every day, you know, and just hope that, like, what are you hoping? That people are just going to find you? People aren't just going to find you, dude, because, you know, Facebook's not putting your live streams in front of anybody because nobody watched them before. So Facebook don't think they're going to be interested in these ones. So they're not putting them in front of anybody. So you're going to have the same 2 or 3 people every time you do a live stream, right? And it's going to be like that, like infinitely. Not cool, man. Not cool. Waste of time. So you need a system to pull people to you. You have to go out and get them. And I recommended him to join 5 Facebook groups, at least 1,000 members in each one, and to, you know, be a part of those scenes, right? Spend 5 minutes a day in each Facebook group, like people's posts, thumbs up people's posts, comment on people's posts, ask a few questions here or there, and then once a week, add some value into those Facebook groups. Nice little pure share post, no links out, right? No links out to websites or anything like that. Just a pure text post that would add value to the people in that group for your niche, right? And then so just do that, man. Be a part of those groups. And what's going to happen is, and then also I want you to friend request 10 of them a day, 10 people a day. Friend request people who you've had a positive interaction with in those groups. Right? Every single day do this, right? And what's going to happen is when he does this is as he's friend requesting these people he's having positive interactions with in the groups, Facebook's going to start notifying these people of his live streams that he's doing every day. And this way he's going to build his audience for his live streams. Okay. Now that is what that's going to do. That's going to actually do some growth, but that's a way of pulling people to him, right? That's just one little system to do it. All right. And then the fourth thing that I told him to do was he needs a system in place to actually make money, right? You know, how are you going to complain about not getting any results when you don't even have anything in place to get results? I mean, how are you supposed to make money if you don't have anything out there to make you money? It doesn't make any sense. There's so many people out there complaining about, you know, not being able to make any money, and they don't have any systems in place to actually make money. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it. So I said, you need a system in place to make money, dude. You need a little lead magnet set up. All right. And then, you know, you need to be pitching people on your live streams to the lead magnet. And then when they opt in for the lead magnet, okay, on the thank you page, you need to offer them some kind of low ticket thing. Like, here's an example, right? You give them a cheat sheet for something in your niche for free. Simple little cheat sheet, easily consumable content. And then what you do is you make a video supplemental for the cheat sheet. Make a video supplemental for the cheat sheet where you're talking on the video, narrating. You go into more detail than what the cheat sheet can provide. And that little video supplemental, man, you know, you sell that for like $6 or $7, right? So what happens is you got the cheat sheet here. They opt in for it. And then on the thank you page, hey, thanks for opting in and picking up my cheat sheet. That's going to be delivered to you in about 5 minutes to your inbox. By the way, just so you know, I have a video supplemental for that cheat sheet that'll really help you quite a bit. You should definitely check it out. Click the link below, right? They click the link below on the thank you page. They go to the sales page for the video supplemental, right? That's a nice little system in place, right? Now you could add to the funnel of the video supplemental later on as you get better, but you need that initial system in place to start making money, okay? Now the other part of that system is when they opt in, you got an email sequence of about 7 emails, right? The first email is going to be a welcome email. It's going to give them a link to their free cheat sheet, but it's also in the PS, it's going to pitch the video supplemental. The second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh email is going to provide value, going to tell stories, actionable content, talk about your origin story, your life, and you're basically going to be building rapport. You're pitching your video supplementals. You're going to be giving them actionable content, and you're going to be pitching your video supplementals. So what are you doing with these emails? You're positioning yourself as someone who can help them move forward, right? And this is going to be a system, fully realized system in place that will make you money. And now that you got the system in place, now you're in a position to start reaping some benefits from your Facebook live streaming, right? But like that's playing chess. You know what I'm saying? This ain't checkers, man. This is not checkers. All right. You just jumping on Facebook and doing live streams every day with no system in place, not pulling anybody around to you, just doing these live streams every day, hoping that people are going to find you. It's nonsense. No one's ever going to find you. All you're going to do is waste all this time. The other thing I told him was he should take his Facebook live streams and start uploading them to YouTube to get even more exposure, right? Because now it's going to be 2 platforms instead of just 1. So these are the things I told him. We'll see if he actually takes action on them. What I find is I give people things to do many times. Sometimes they do them and sometimes they don't. So sometimes the real problem is that people are good at doing some things, but they're not good at doing other things. You know what I mean? Like they're good at taking action on some things. Some things, like it's the damnest thing. Like some people are good at taking action on some things, but then on other things, they're not good at taking action on them. And I think everybody's like that, man. I really do. I think we're all like that. I mean, I'm like that. I mean, man, I'm the most moneyest making fool in the world. Like when it comes to tactics and strategies and tricks and stuff on how to make money, like I can come up with all kinds of things and ways to like just generate money out of thin air, right? But when it comes to like figuring out ways to lose weight or ways to get my diet under control, forget about it, man. Forget about it. I mean, like I'll try something, 3 days later, I'll mess it up. I'll do something else. A week later, I'm eating cheese pizza again. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So I think it makes no sense. It baffles my mind sometimes, But like I think that, we all have things that are harder for us to take action on. Some things just come natural to us, and some things, man, we really have to try hard to take action on those things. So when it comes to this guy and his Facebook live streaming, he's probably going to have to take action on some of these things that he probably doesn't feel like doing. And it's easy to get on a Facebook live stream real quick and blam, press a button and start talking. But it takes a different kind of discipline to set up systems in place and to be consistent with those systems every day. So, yeah, that's what I'd say about that, man. Hopefully that helps him. And hopefully through me helping him and talking to you guys about it, hopefully that helps you guys a little bit. Someone asked me if I could recommend a good pop-up for websites. And what I recommended to him, let me show you guys real quick. When it comes to pop-ups, if you guys are wondering about pop-ups, if they're worth it or not, what I got on Epic Conversions is I got something called Thrive Leads. So I have Thrive Architect. That's my page builder. But I also have another thing called Thrive Leads, right? Where is it? Thrive. Well, right there, Thrive Leads. I got this thing right here. It's called Thrive Leads. And it allows you to do pop-ups. It allows you to do the ribbons up top. It allows you to do the pull downs. Any kind of way that you can think of an opt-in to go on your website, this thing will let you do it. It's really awesome. And I think I like 3 times my opt-in rate when I started using it. Before that, I just had a normal little opt-in on the right side of my website. I used to have a ribbon up here. I've tried all the different things, the pull down, the ribbon, but what works best for me is a 2-step opt-in. Like this is called a light box or a pop-up box. And what works best for me is a 2-step. So what that means is they have to commit by saying, let's make it happen right here. And then they're going to have to, when they click on that, then boom, they're going to have to enter their email. So what works best for me is a 2-step opt-in and the light box or the pop-up box. And if you notice on my website, there's nothing but this pop-up, right? And it's relentless. It is relentless. If you're not already signed up, this thing's going to like attack you. But that's the thing. My website, my blog is got 2 goals, right? It's the pull in organic traffic and help people. And it's to put people on my email list. That's the main goals of the website, right? So, and if you notice, I'm not asking for their name, just their email, right? So you want to put as little barriers to entry as possible. My goal is to get people on my email list. I can build the rapport in the email list. The name is not important. I want as few barriers to entry as possible to where I can continue the connection and continue the relationship, right? So that's the thing about that. All right, so that's what I'd say about that. I don't know how much it costs, guys. I forget. It's been a long time since I bought it. I think it's like $67 or something. I've had this for years. I've been using these guys for years. I'll tell you in a second. I mean, I hate this. Like, sometimes I just wish people would be more like forthright with prices and stuff. I mean, just tell them how much it costs, man. They want to know how much the damn thing costs. Just tell them how much it costs. Why do we gotta be sneaky about it and make people dance around and do all these jigs to figure out how much a price is? I mean, come on, dude. Ridiculous. But anyways, it's really good. It's really good software. I guess I have to go to get your copy. Okay, so basically, yep, still $67. So you can get Thrive Leads for $67, and you can get these licenses here are for if you have more than one website that you want to put it on. If you want to put it on like 5 websites or 15 websites, they got different licenses you can get. But yeah, so that's what I'd say about that. All right. So, all right, cool. All right, I want to show you guys sometimes like, okay, sometimes I want to show you guys something. Sometimes people will ask me questions that like they make no sense to me. I'm just like, what is it? What are you even talking about, man? I mean, you get some really wild questions. I'm not kidding. So I want to show you this one question because I can't even explain it. So I sent an email out. I was doing a little promotion for Andy Brocklehurst's affiliate playbook not too long ago, and someone sent me an email back. It was a question about something I had written. So I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys that, and I'm just gonna Give me a second here. All right, let me let's share my screen. Okay, so I clipped this and tried to leave the name off. Most of this is what you're looking at. Most of this is just, honestly, most of it is my email. But this person says dorky question for this bonus, right? And then they clip a little part of my email that I wrote where I say, as a bonus, when you pick up Andy Brocklehurst's affiliate playbook, you're going to get not only PLR rights on the 2 promotional emails I am writing for it tomorrow, which are already done and waiting on you, but also my very own mesolimbic marketing and parabolic content engine, both of which are really complement affiliate playbook. Then they say, would I need to make a website in order to promote this as a membership site? Thanks. Would I need to make a website in order to promote this as a membership site? Like, I had no idea what this person was talking about. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm reading it and I'm like, what in the hell are you talking about? I don't even know what that means. For this bonus, would I need to make a website in order to promote this as a membership site? And I don't have any idea what this person is talking about. I really don't. So guys, like in this space, there's this thing going around where people don't want to admit that they don't know something. They don't want to admit that they don't know. But I can tell you guys, don't be afraid to say, I don't know. Don't be afraid to say it. There's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know, right? Socrates famously said, I know that I don't know. He famously said that. I know that I do not know. Don't be afraid to say, I don't know. And when you get emails like this from people, dude, let me tell you something. Email them back and tell them you don't know what they're talking about. I mean, be nice about it. But this person here, I just emailed him back and said, hey, listen, man, I don't understand your question. Could you kind of like explain that a little bit better? Because I don't understand it. I just tell them I don't understand when I get questions like that. And I tell you something, I get questions like that all the time. I get questions all the time that I have no idea what the hell's going on. I'm serious, man. I wish I didn't, but I do. I really do. It's amazing. But yeah, that's not to make fun of anybody. I know it probably looks like I'm making fun of somebody right now, but I'm not trying to. I'm just basically saying, if someone asks you a question and you don't know what the hell they're talking about, don't be afraid to say, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, but I maybe it's me and it's just going over my head, but could you explain that a little bit in a different way or something? Because I don't know what you mean. Don't be afraid to say that, you guys. Don't just try to assume like you know what someone's talking about when you have no clue what they're talking about. That's what I'd say about that. All right, so I want to talk to you guys about interviews for a minute, really quick. So interviews are great because, like, if you do interviews with other people who are doing things in the space, right, it's gonna build your authority. You're gonna get some celebrity by association. If a lot of people already know who that is, and then they see them talking to you, that's going to help you a little bit. Now they're going to kind of get to know who you are a little bit, especially if you do several interviews with people. You're going to start to be able to share audience with the people who you're interviewing because their audience is going to kind of come over and find you, and that's pretty cool. And you're going to be able to drive some traffic to your stuff, all based off of this person already having an audience. So that's pretty cool. But there's also a bad side to interviews, right? There's also this bad side to interviews. Interviews can be a waste of time. They can be an absolute waste of time. They can be awkward for everyone involved if someone is bad at doing interviews. Like if you're interviewing someone who sucks at doing interviews, it can be bad for everybody. And it can be kind of one-sided if the person interviewing is too small for you, right? If you're being interviewed or if they're interviewing you or you're interviewing somebody, and they don't have a big enough audience, or they're not anybody who, you know what I mean? It could be a one-sided situation. If the person interviewing is too small for you, there should be, when you're going to do an interview, there should be some mutual benefit. Okay. Everybody involved should win. The people who are going to watch the interview should win. You should win. The person you're interviewing or the person who's interviewing you should win. And if everybody's not winning, then, you shouldn't do the interview. You don't be afraid to say no. I'm not doing the interview. I'll give you an example. So recently, I kind of started trying to move in a new direction with my YouTube channel. And I wanted to kind of move in a more philosophical, kind of philosophical analysis type direction. I wanted to start kind of philosophically analyzing the internet marketing space. So my most recent video is different than most of my other videos. It's very different. It's more philosophical, analytical. It's more just like kind of esoteric than my other videos. My other videos are straightforward and they attract a certain kind of person. My latest video was more like philosophical in nature, and it attracted a different kind of person. I didn't realize that until after I did it. I'd never done videos like that before. But soon after I did that video, I got someone emailing me wanting to interview me about my business. And I was just trying to be nice. I've done tons of interviews before and never had a problem. But this person, so what happened was I got on the interview, and turns out this person didn't even know what Warrior Plus was. They didn't know what the launch game was. They didn't know about anything. So it was kind of annoying. And then not only did they not know about something, but then they disagreed with me on several aspects that they felt were not real or not true. And it was like, dude, what are you talking about? You don't even know what I do. You don't know what I'm talking about. And yet you're disagreeing with me on something. Sometimes I think it's generational. You know what I mean? Sometimes I think like this millennial generation or the generation right after the millennials, sometimes I think they just they want to have an opinion on everything. Like whether they know what they're talking about or not, doesn't matter. They want to have an opinion on it. It doesn't matter if they know anything about it or don't know anything about it. They don't care. They want to have an opinion on it. So anyways, I did the interview. Kind of felt more like a debate than an interview, really, to be honest. And the thing is, these guys kept me on this interview for 2.5 hours. That's the thing about doing an interview. When someone interviews you, it's kind of weird to say, all right, guys, I need to wrap this up, so time for me to go. Usually the interviewer, it's the person who's doing the interview says, all right, that's all I got. Thanks so much for being on, right? So if you're the one being interviewed, it's kind of weird to say, all right, guys, clock's ticking. It's time for me to go. So these cats kept me on this interview for 2.5 hours, right? Asking me questions about stuff, right? And so by the end of it, I'm kind of like, all right, cool. So I'm done. And then I thought about the rest of the day, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I ended up having to email that person and saying, hey, listen, man, I don't feel so great about that interview. I feel like it was kind of like more of a debate. It was kind of a weird thing. It didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. And I really don't think it's going to provide a lot of value to people. I really would appreciate it if you just didn't publish that interview. So these guys get back to me and they say, yeah, that's no problem, man. Really, we were just really interested in kind of picking your brain for knowledge and trying to learn some things anyways. And in my mind, I was like, wow, what a brilliant waste of time. So what you really wanted was some kind of a coaching call or some kind of consulting call, but you've disguised it as an interview. That's amazing. So I don't know, man. It was kind of a waste of time. So I guess I wanted to talk to you guys about interviews from both sides of it. I mean, Because I know, like, if you guys are first getting started, you're going to be doing the interviews. But after you've been in this game for just a little while, after you've been around for just a little while, you're going to have people trying to interview you. So what I would say is, by the time you get to a place where people are interviewing you, you should be checking their audience stuff and just see what they got going on before you agree to an interview. And if you are going to agree to an interview with someone who's real small, like that, the guys who were interviewing me, I think they had 250 subscribers on their YouTube channel, right? So it's like they were really small. And, you know, I think that if you agree to something like that, you know, make sure that you got some kind of an agreement on time to make it like a 30-minute interview. You know, just tell them, say, hey, man, I can do 30 minutes. That's what I can do. And if you're going to be the one interviewing, 2 tips if you want to interview, okay? Number 1, reach out to people. Ask them if they can spare a quick 30 minutes tomorrow or the next day. Get the interview fast, because people like me, like, we don't want to plan things like 3 or 4 weeks in advance for like an interview or something. We got like other things that are making us money that are planned out in advance. And we don't want to put like some like interview on there for like 2 weeks from now that I got to remember for like 2 or 3 weeks that I'm doing this interview. I mean, that's ridiculous. So what you want to do is you want to try to reach out to them, give them the amount of time. You see, the funny thing is the people who do interviews, they think that the people they're going to be interviewing care the most about like what questions they're going to ask. But the truth is, I really don't give a crap what questions you're going to ask me. I mean, any kind of question you have to ask me about what I do, I can answer it. What I do care about is how long is the interview going to take? How long are you going to keep me on this call, man? Don't keep me on this call for like 8 hours. I got other shit to do. You know, that's what people, you know, when you're talking about people who actually are making money online, what they care about is how long you're going to hold them up. They pretty much already know, you know, they pretty much already know what kind of questions you're going to be asking them. You basically are going to be asking them questions that are centered around how they do what they do, and, you know, be trying to pick their brains on their process and, you know, how they make money online and maybe how they got started and their origin story. And so they know what you're going to be asking them, man. That's no big secret. You know, they make money online. You want to make money online, or your audience wants to make money online. And those are kind of questions you're going to be asking them. But what they don't know is how long you're going to keep them on the call. Right. So trust me, that's a question that's definitely something you want to say, and you want to do it quick, not like try to plan it out for like 3 weeks from now. Take the assertive position, say, hey man, I run a YouTube channel, kind of just getting started, but I'm trying to put some good people on. I'd love to talk to you about your business. Could you spare 20 to 30 minutes tomorrow, at some point tomorrow or the next day, to just you know, chop it up with me a little bit? And if you do that 20 or 30 minutes tomorrow or the next day, you'll have far greater results getting people to say yes. Because I'll tell you guys what, man, after that interview yesterday, or whenever, I guess that was a few days ago, after that interview a few days ago, man, it'll be a long time before I do another interview, man. What a complete waste of time. The only interviews I'm going to do with people are people I already know, like, and trust. I'm not dealing with any more people I don't know, just to help give them a boost to their stuff. Just to have a bunch of my time wasted for no reason. It's ridiculous. So anyways, guys, that's all I'll say about that. And I do realize that I'm a little negative today, and I do apologize for that. If I'm negative, I'm sorry. I don't like losing money, and I feel like, you know, this software thing has kind of got me in a bad mood. So anyways, just one more thing I want to talk to you guys about today. Unless you have questions for me, I'm going to talk about one more thing, and then I'm going to wrap this up today. So, all right. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about is this new launch I got coming up. It's called Email Secrets. I want to show you the sales page. Okay, so I need to show you something. Hold on. So just give me a second. I gotta pull two things up that I want to show you. So this is like a compare and contrast kind of thing. So give me a second because I gotta do some logging in and pulling up a couple websites and stuff like that. So just give me a second here. This ain't gonna take but a second, guys. Just give me a minute. All right. Okay. All right. Now let me go to screen share. All right. Now this is Email Secrets sales page. All right. Would you like the secrets to start earning real cash? Let me show you how I earn this paydays. Boom, boom, boom. And this is the sales page for Email Secrets. This is my new product. It's going to be coming out, I believe, scheduled to come out this coming Friday. Okay. So about a week from now. All right. This product started out as two extra modules, two bonus modules inside of Mystic Mailer Pro, but I didn't want the story to end there with Email Secrets. I wanted to expand upon it and make it its own thing, right? So that's what I did. I expanded upon Email Secrets and made it its own thing. So that's pretty awesome, man. And it is a really cool product, man. But this is the sales page, all right? So why am I showing you this sales page? All right. This sales page, there's bonuses. This sales page right here is modeled after another sales page. This is the sales page for Perfect Product Creation by John and his brother. John Rhodes and his brother. Mark, I think. Matt. This is by Matt and John Rhodes, right? These guys are really cool. I like these guys a lot, man. And this guy right here, Matt, he wrote the sales copy for this whole page. He put this sales page together. And like as a customer, I was inspired by this sales page. I really enjoyed it a lot. And when it came time for me to do my new product, when it comes time for me to do a new product, I'm always looking for inspiration from somewhere else, right? When it comes to sales pages, I don't feel like copywriting is a good, I don't feel like I'm a natural copywriter when it comes to sales pages. I'm a little too just like in your face and blunt sometimes. And I'm always looking for like inspiration and things to model after. And I'll tell you what, the way I do it is when I find something I want to model after, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and so you'll see this is very similar. Would you like the secret to start earning real cash? Let me show you how I earn. Would you like to coaching to start earning real cash? How we collect boom, 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 boom. It's very, very similar, right? It's very, very similar. Perfect product unlocks everything. Powerful email angles change everything. It's very similar, right? We kept running into roadblocks. I kept missing my target. There's a little roadblock. There's a little bullseye thing. We got proof right here. We got proof right here. It's very similar. Like its look and feel is very, very similar. How is this different than anything else? What's the difference between a perfect product and an ordinary product? You see what I'm saying? Then it goes to the black. I go to the black. It's similar. As we go on, it deviates a little bit, but it's very similar in design. And so how does this work? So here's the thing. When I model something like this after somebody else's thing, I don't want to just model this and then like just play it off like it was my own thing. Like I want to model it, and then what I do is I go to the people who did the original, like Matt and John, and I talked to Matt and I said, "Hey, look, man, I got this sales page, like, and I modeled it very closely after your sales page because as like a customer, I was very inspired by your work. I bought the product. I thought it was really awesome, but I want to make sure that mine is not like too close to yours and it's like stepping on your toes. I don't want to be stepping on your toes. I don't want it to be like that, because if it is too close, just let me know, man, because I want to change it. I don't want you to feel some kind of way about it, right? You know what I mean? So that's what I did. Now, this is cool, man, because when you model something after someone else's stuff and then you reach out to them and say things like that to them, what's going to happen is, first of all, you're showing them respect. Second of all, you're being honest. And third of all, what's going to happen is they're going to think better of you and they're going to think more highly of you. And it's going to be more like a compliment and less like, hey, you're stealing my stuff. You see what I'm saying? That's the bottom line. So when I modeled after this person's stuff, I reached out to them and talked to them about it ahead of time. And I wanted to make sure it was okay with them. And they said it was totally cool. And actually, and Matt actually gave me some tips and pointers about the sales page. I actually had a picture here, something different. I'm not even going to go into what it was. But he gave me some pointers on it, and he actually gave me some tips. Like this whole section right here, this was actually something different. I had something else in this spot, and now it's been changed to this because of some advice that Matt gave me. So I guess the point that I'm trying to make, guys, is transparency is good, right? Be honest with people, be real with people. There's nothing wrong with modeling your stuff after someone else's stuff, but like give credit where credit's due. You know what I'm saying? If it's not your idea, if this inspiration if what you're doing drew heavily from someone else's work, talk to them about it. See if it's okay, if what you're doing is okay. Don't make it exactly like their thing. Don't cut and paste their thing. Change things around and make it your thing. But, and like the email secrets thing, it's been changed. The picture's different in the background. The stuff's different, but the look is very similar. The look and feel of it to me is very similar. Now Matt told me he could barely tell. He said he probably wouldn't even been able to tell that I modeled it after his page if I didn't tell him. Which I don't know if he was just trying to be nice or what, because like when I'm looking at them both side to side, I can kind of tell pretty easily that I've modeled it after his thing, but it doesn't matter. He's a really great guy. And the point is, if you're going to model after someone very closely like that, reach out to him and talk to him, because what's going to happen is, like I said, man, it's going to make you look better. It's going to make you look good. And it's probably going to build you another ally. It's going to build your network of peers that know you and that trust you and that you can do business with. Now, if you're pulling elements from a bunch of different places, you don't have to worry about it as much, But sometimes, like, man, I'll tell you what, sometimes if I'm pulling elements from several different places, I'll still reach out to people and let them know, hey, man, your work really inspired me on this sales page or whatever. And the reason I do it, man, is because I want to build my relationships with these people. Simple. I want to build my relationships with them. And I'll get more out of the sales page by like modeling it after someone else's successful sales page than just doing it completely original all myself. If I do it all myself, completely original from scratch, then I take all the credit. but I don't get to pull anybody else into my thing. You know what I mean? Like if I model it after someone else who's kind of successful already, I kind of like pull them into my thing. Right now, there's a chance that Matt and John are going to be interested in how Email Secrets does, because they've kind of been pulled into it a little bit, just because they know that sales page is modeled after their sales page. So they might want to see how that sales page does now. Whereas before they wouldn't have cared at all about the project. So it's almost like, to me, like it serves me better to like model my stuff after other people's stuff sometimes, and just like reach out to them and be able to talk to them about it and make sure it's okay. And then, and just go in that way. I mean, that's what I found to be true. You get more benefit from being able to pull people into it. But, I think that the key there is you just reach out to people ahead of time so they don't feel some kind of way. You don't try to take all the credit when, it's not really your design. You've modeled it after someone else's thing. You just tell them. Now, I just want to say that, like, that, what I'm talking about there with the modeling, that's a lot different than the software thing I was talking about earlier. So I don't want you to get it confused. Modeling is not the same as stealing. There's two different things going on there. So, anyways, guys, you know what? I think that's about it for me. I'm gonna wrap this one up. Thanks so much. I know a lot of you didn't make it today, and you'll probably catch us on a replay. But I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Peace, everybody. Oh, by the way, I just put a new product in the Insiders Club yesterday. It's really cool. It's called Promotional Sequences for Profit. And it is all about sequencing emails, right? It's all about taking like promotional emails and stacking them in such a way to where like they will build a buzz around a product and will create more sales for you, right? So it's really, really cool product. It's about an hour's worth of training. Be sure you check it out, man. It's really cool. So anyways, that's all I got, guys. I hope you guys are well and have a great weekend. Keep it between the ditches, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, everybody.